should be going for this right here, annual award tracker. Everyone, that should be your goal, okay, is to become an annual mentor, 30,000 PRV, right? Right, okay. Okay, oh, annual sales. So that should be your number one goal. I just want to get this out of the way because sometimes I get really into my story and then I forget everything I want to say because that happens often. So this should be your first goal. And right now you're like, oh man, I can't do 30,000 PRV. That's crazy. We're going to talk about that later on. I might be doing a little bit of ass kicking with you guys. Then your next goal, so there's so many tools on the news tab about the power hour. There's no excuses for you to not get to your goal. There is, there's things that happen in life, but there's so many tools that Scentsy has for us that we really need to utilize. For example, some people had 0 PRV after that flash sale, and that blew my mind. If you're not going to take advantage of what Scentsy gives you, it's like Scentsy baked you a beautiful apple pie, and you're like, nah. Scentsy is doing all of this for you. And if we don't go into the news tab and we don't use our resources, they may not invest in that, okay? So make sure that you're using this. Make sure that you're telling your team to go on there. The training center. So that has everything you need in the training center. Okay, that's the end of my slide. Awesome. So I don't think I saw, there is annual mentor, that's 14 consultants. That should be your goal. That should always be your goal, because if you reach super high, you may get lower. But if you just say I just want to recruit one person this month, then you may not recruit anyone. So it's all about your mindset. So one of the things I really want you guys to get from me is that, I know a lot of you guys know my story, but I don't really want to go into that because we'll talk too much about it. But I was someone who was completely lost, and sometimes I still find I am. I was that broken little girl who had 2 older brothers who practically bullied her. My mom had serious mental health. My dad was an alcoholic. I felt like there was nobody else in the world that understood me. I'm like, I must be an alien from a different galaxy, and I just didn't understand, and I thought God made a big screw up when he made me. I thought I need to go into a mental institution because if they analyze my brain, they're gonna find out some crazy stuff. And they're gonna lock me up. I honestly felt this way. I thought there was something seriously wrong with my brain. I thought I was stupid. I was never good in school. I barely passed everything. I was really good in sports. I was captain of my basketball team, captain of my volleyball team, but I liked it. I loved it, so I worked towards it. When someone, and back in the day, when you weren't a good student, they tell you you're being a bad kid, 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 you're being a bad kid. And just like we learned from Amanda Gore, a thought becomes a belief, and I started feeling that I'm a bad person. And that voice is still sometimes telling me right now, today, that I'm a bad person and that I don't deserve this. Okay, so when I saw this room, a lineup, I'm like, is that for me? Is that for me? There's a thought that's nah, this is not for you, Anick. You're dreaming. You don't really realize, but I still have that thought. And for so long, I've had that thought that I'm a bad person and I'm not gonna go anywhere. So when you think you're a bad person, you start making bad decisions, okay? When you don't think there's greater things for you, you're not gonna try. I didn't try in school. I copied a lot of Google copying. She did the essay last year, so I'm like, can I have your essay? And I would just write my name on it. Seriously, I into school. But then one day I actually wrote my own essay, and I got a really good grade. And I was like, what? Should I have tried at this thing? And that was a really eye-opener in my life. That's okay, in our business, most of us don't think we're good enough. Most of us don't think that we're good recruiters. Most of us don't think we're good in sales, so you don't try. You don't try. If you don't think you're good at it, you're not gonna try it. So most of us all feel the same way. And in my business, I started just sharing my heart, sharing my vulnerability, just being authentic, and just sharing my hot mess of myself. And all of a sudden, my business started accumulating. But it actually started happening a long time ago when I was seriously depressed. And I would see a negative post online and it would eat me up. Who feels like that, right? And I was like, okay, Anick, you're never gonna post anything negative on Facebook ever, ever, ever again. So I stopped. So then I was the positive person on Facebook. So I started just like that. I just became the person I wanted to see. So I wanted to fall in love with myself, and you guys are like, why are you talking about loving yourself? I'm telling you right now that your business is a reflection of you. If your business is not where you want it to be, it's a reflection of you. I may hurt your feelings by saying that. If your business is not going well, you're not going well. If you don't love your business, it tells me you don't love yourself. So as soon as you start shifting the way you feel about yourself, you will see your business shift. And I volunteered in Honduras at an orphanage, and kids were like running for the school bus, and I'm like, what are they running for? I realized I was super ungrateful, and I've been ungrateful most of my life. And then I went and learned how to surf in Nicaragua, and then I did this like spiritual journey week with this group in San Francisco, and I invested a lot of money on my mental health because it's like, Anick, don't you want to be here, right? It's like, yeah, okay, well, you need to do whatever it takes to be here. And I didn't know why I was meant to be here, but there's a reason why I'm here. It's to share my story, and I would never take away my story. And I realized there was a thought. I was meditating. It was a Wednesday, and I was meditating, and I had a thought that came into my mind. It said, Anick, why don't you deserve your own love? Who has children? Okay, who has pets? Okay. Why? You love your kids, eh?
Yes.
You love your dog, eh?
Yes.
Why can't you love yourself like you love your kid? Think about that. Why can't you love yourself like you love your kid? It's mind-blowing to me how many of us don't love ourselves. I would say 98% of humans don't really honestly love themselves. The hot mess. We're like abstract art. We don't understand it, but it's beautiful. Yes. You are abstract art. Not everybody understands it, but some do, and some people appreciate it. We're not here for other people. We're not doing our business for other people. We're doing our business for us, for our family. We have goals. We want to better ourselves. But if you can't find the love that is within your heart to love yourself, you will never get to where you want to be. You need to find yourself love. And I'm giving you the permission that you can finally love yourself. You can finally love yourself. You deserve that love. And as soon as you start shining that light, you will see you will light the path for so many other people. So one of the things that really, really helped me in my life are affirmations. And this is like a goal. So they say your goal will you have 80% more chance of attaining your goal if you simply write it down. So we can simply write it down, or we can yell it, or we can also feel it. And if you want to go to the next level, you want to feel your goal. So I want you guys to take out your book and write down a goal that you have. You have 10 seconds. Any goal. I want you to write down a goal. Okay. I want you to scratch it. Scratch it. I want you to make it bigger. Because most of the people are like, oh, I want to become one step above, a rank higher. No. That's BS. You can go higher than that. I want you to scratch it. I want you to make it bigger. And then when you make it bigger, there's a thought that popped up in your head that said, you can't do this. You're never going to accomplish that. But you can. You are stronger than your thoughts. We have 90,000 thoughts per day. No, Anick, that's a lie. 60,000 thoughts per day, and on average, 90% are negative. They're lies. It's all legit lies that you've been telling yourself every single day. And you have the same thought today, tomorrow, and the day after. So it's really important for you to tell your goal that you can do it, that you can tell yourself that you can do it. So right now, I want you to just yell, I'm awesome.
I'm awesome.
Oh, wow, that was really good. I'm awesome.
I'm awesome.
Yeah, you are. It's about time you realize it. Okay, so, yeah. I remember I was in bed and I was like, oh my gosh. I just started writing in my phone, but I'm so horrible with notes because I just go on whatever. Okay, so we have a goal. You now have a timeline. I just want you to write down on a piece of paper, what's the timeline that you're giving yourself? Whatever your goal was, you could probably do it this fall. Because the fall is insane. Literally, if you're a star consultant, you could be a director by this fall. It's totally legit. I want to tell you guys, if you guys lose your director title, it's not that big of a deal. It's not. You'll get it again. But for some reason, when we don't attain that goal, it like crushes us. It's like the end of the world. And women, when one thing blows up, we would just want to do this to everything else. Why do we have to ruin everything that's going on in our life? Like, relax. It's not the end of the world. You'll get there. And that story alone is extremely inspiring because you did not give up. Do you know how many numbers we have? Like what, consultants 700,000 that joined? How many consultants we have? 250,000? That's how many people quit. You are successful because you're here and you're an active consultant. You are successful. Amen. You are super successful because you are doing it. Everyone has a different timeline. Everyone has different goals, so don't be comparing yourself to other people because that's just a waste of time. When you compare yourself to someone like me who does this full time, where you're doing it part time, that's unfair. That's not apples and apples. So you need to realize that everyone has a different path, and everyone has some grit, and everyone has a different reason why they're doing it. And the people who are really doing it are looked up and they figured out why they're doing it. And they're not gonna stop doing it because someone told them that they shouldn't be doing it. So I realized that everyone but me, no one's paying my mortgage bill. I pay my own mortgage bill. So I'm not gonna let other people dictate my life. I'm not gonna let other people's thoughts or them point the finger dictate what decisions I'm gonna make in my life. I'm not gonna let them bring my energy down. So you need to realize that you are the creator of your universe. You dictate what you want in life. And if you want to be successful in this business, if you want to attain those goals, if you want to earn incentives, you can. But you need to make it a goal and you need to believe it. And once you start believing that you can, you will start acting like a successful person. So if you don't think you can, you will start acting like you can't. You won't do the actions that you need to do. So you need to, and I know we talk about this all the time, but it's not getting in most people's heads. It's really not. And so how do you do it, Anick? You just do it. You just do it. You're terrified of doing a live? I don't care. Do it anyways. You're terrified of talking to that person about recruiting? I don't care. Do it anyways. You're afraid of doing events? I don't care. Do it anyway. You have to do it. And the more you do it, the more it gets easy. I remember, I come from this weird little town, and there's people that just would love to see me fail. And so I remember there was this video. I was taking photography, and there was this video that I ended up posting. It was a girl dance like no one's watching. It was my first ever video that I've ever posted ever on Facebook, and then I posted it on YouTube. I was so terrified of posting that video. Terrified of the judgment. Terrified what about those girls who don't pay my mortgage bill, who don't do anything, who why would I care about these girls? What would they think about me? Why? But I almost let them stop me from doing what I wanted to do. So I ended up posting the video and I got positive people. Anick, I want to do a video with you next time. I was like, okay, this is cool. And that's where the whole Anick started. You know, that's where all my videos started. And then the second video, I was still terrified, but I did it anyway because I realized, and in my video it says, are you laughing? Are you laughing at me? And if you're laughing at me, I don't care because you're laughing, so I win. Seriously, because I feel like there is so much negativity in the world that I just want to make people laugh. And I feel like you see comedians, why they become comedians, because they have serious mental health issues. I feel like that's why I am the way I am. I just want to make people laugh because inside I'm broken. Like most of us are, and it's okay. And I started loving that broken self of me, and I don't really understand. It's like I never rewatch my videos. It's like, Anick, why did you say that? Oh my gosh. So I want you guys to start telling yourself 2 affirmations. Okay, there's 2 affirmations I want you guys to start telling yourself every single day, minimum 10 times a day. And I started doing this, and it does work. If you come to my house, there's only positive information everywhere on the walls. So we are a ball of energy. if you believe it or not, okay? And it's kind of like when you hang out with someone positive, you feel good. And when you hang out with someone who's a Debbie Downer, you're like, oh my God, that's energy. So the thoughts that you let in, energy, positive or negative, the food you're eating, positive or negative, the actions you do, positive or negative, the shows you are watching. I had to stop watching Grey's Anatomy. It made me so depressed. You gotta be careful what you're feeding your mind. Are you hanging out with a Debbie Downer? Gotta kick them to the curb, man. You gotta kick them to the curb. So you gotta be careful what is in your surrounding, what's on the walls, everything. You gotta be careful with that information. So one of them, of the information that you could start telling yourself is an affirmation. So I want you to start telling yourself that I'm a recruiting rock star. Write that down. Okay, now we're gonna repeat after me. I'm a recruiting rock star.
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 Okay, we gotta say it a little louder because I want everyone else to be like, what are they doing with that? I'm a recruiting rock star.
I'm a recruiting rock star.
Oh yeah, that was good, that was good. I have ribbons for everyone that says I'm a recruiting rock star. So we'll start handing them out. Okay, the next one we're gonna say is, I'm a sales machine.
I'm a sales machine.
So write that down. Okay, I'm a sales machine.
I'm a sales machine.
I'm a sales machine.
I'm a sales machine.
You are a sales machine. You know what, guys? There's this really negative stigma about salespeople. We're like a new age salespeople. Okay? I want you guys to realize that you are a salesperson. And it's okay. It's a new age salesperson. It's an angelic salesperson. It's a salesperson that helps other people. We empower people. We don't sell wax and warmers. We empower people. That's what we do. And my business literally boomed because all I talked about was the community. And how many, we're not going to lift our hands, but so many of us feel alone. So many of us feel alone. So many people need this community. How many people that Scentsy saved your life? Okay. You need to start saving other people's lives. And you need to look at recruiting like you are giving them a huge benefit. You are doing them a favor by inviting them to this community. It's not like you're being an annoying salesperson that you're just going to talk to them about recruiting. No. You are doing them a favor. Because everyone needs to feel this feeling that Scentsy does for us. When you think of your business, I got a ribbon for sales machine too. So when you think of your business, just tell yourself this. So when I say, okay, I want you to think about your sales, your Scentsy business, what's the feeling that you're feeling inside? Okay, it's not everyone is joy. Some people is anxiety, some people is frustration, some people are like, I should be higher up. I should be doing more. Okay, so when you think of your business, I want you to really realize, like I want you, everyone close your eyes. And I want you to think of your Scentsy business. And I want you to really feel that feeling. Okay, open your eyes. That's what you're attracting to yourself. So if it was negative, you're attracting that. If your Scentsy business is frustrating and you're feeling it like a burden and you're really hard on yourself because women are so good at being hard on themselves and you think that you should have been at a higher up or you should have attained that goal or you should have done this and you have this guilt that this business, that's what you're attracting. You've lost touch of why you're doing Scentsy. The people who close their eyes and they realize like how much goodness that Scentsy has given them and they feel joy, that's what they're attracting. And that's why things just happen. In my business, things just happen. It's like the weirdest thing ever. Customers are just coming out of nowhere. Recruits are just coming out of nowhere. Because it's a community. I share a community. I'm not just buy from me, recruit for, join my team. No, I add value into people's lives. By how? By just being me. My hot mess self. Who's seen my dirty kitchen? I probably really made you feel good about your life. Yes! I don't care about a dirty kitchen. I'm sorry, I got better things to do. And if people are gonna come to my house and judge me, well, you could leave my house. That's not my problem. But it's stuff like that. When you're real, when you're being honest with yourself, and you share it on social media, like, oh my gosh, okay. So I just did a breakout with Anick, and she told me to be real, and I have serious anxiety, but I'm gonna go live and share with you why I'm doing Scentsy. And you go live, you won't see negative response. You will see positive response because you're doing a high frequency act. You're gonna receive higher frequency things. You know what I mean by high frequency? Like high energy, love energy. We need more love in our life. And a way for you to share that love is just to share who you are. The messy, the dirty, the ugly, and the beautiful. And that will bring you more sales. And that will bring you more recruits. But I want you to realize that sometimes we need to just get off social media and we need to just live life without it. I find when I'm like at these events and I'm not really on social media that much, that's when I start getting like these recruits and some sales, and all of a sudden it starts happening. When I start enjoying my life, when I'm enjoying myself, that's when things just start happening. When I'm like working on my business, work on my business, work on my business, it's like I'm stopping this flow. It's like I'm stopping this beautiful flow that is meant to be. I realize in life that sometimes I walk really fast. I'm sure you guys have noticed, and sometimes I don't pay attention around me. And that sometimes we're missing out on life and really awesome opportunities for our business. That we need to really slow things down. I'm trying to like awaken my inner sloth. Have I only talked for 20 minutes? How much more time do I got? 10 more minutes, that's it? 25, okay. Woo! Okay, one thing I started doing is listen to podcasts every single day. I listen to a podcast every day. Who drives a lot? Okay, stop listening to music, start listening to podcasts.
Download Castbox.
Castbox?
It's a free podcast.
Okay, Castbox, Spotify. Listen to podcasts because our vehicle could be like an educational vehicle. Instead of listening to music, why aren't we listening to podcasts where we could better our mind? We need to invest in our mind and we need to feed our soul, okay? And when you invest in your mind and feed your soul, that's when your business is gonna go to the next level. And one of the podcasts I listened to was Rachel Riley, what are you talking about, Anick? Rachel Hollis. She's so good. And she had 3 rules to grow your business by 10%. And she says, how many customers do you have? Try to increase it by 10%. So if you have 60 customers, you really have to get 6 more customers. Think about it. So just put it in write down that you need to grow your customer base by 10%. And she said, how can we increase our sales by 10%? So how can we upsell by 10% to our current customers? 10%. So what's our average sale? What's our average order? 30 in America and 40 in Canada. Yeah. It's like a 6-pack, right? So we need to increase it by $3 every order. $3. So that's what? A scent circle, a room spray. So every single order you get, you need to be like, oh my gosh, have you tried a room spray? No, okay, I'm adding a room spray to your order, all right? Okay. Don't ask them, just tell them. Just tell them. It's true, it worked. They're like, oh my gosh, you got Amazon Rain, we have it in a room spray, you need this room spray, it's gonna last 6 months in your bathroom. You won't smell the poo-poo, you're only gonna smell Amazon Rain. And then I know she said a third thing, but I can't remember what the third thing was. It doesn't matter. But that's a way to, so if we increase our sales by 10% with our customers, more customers, and 10% with our orders, it adds up a lot, and that's like a 20% increase over a year. And who could use with a 20% increase? Okay. You guys didn't come here for your business not to go to the next level. You make sure that you are sharing on social media the experience that you're having, the connections with people that you've never met before. You need to share that. And don't forget that 4 months' time, you could still share that story that you did this weekend, you know? So think about the new friend that you met, the breakout that you liked, or whatever, and just keep sharing that excitement, because you need to stay excited. And if you don't stay excited, your business is gonna start going down. I realized at the beginning of my business, I knew nobody. I didn't know who the rock stars were. I knew nothing. I was just that crazy girl on Instagram, just, life is beautiful! And then all of a sudden, I got into the Scentsy world and then realized all these rock stars and had all these crazy awesome systems. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm seriously ADHD and I'm not consistent whatsoever. And then all of a sudden I start comparing myself and my business started going like this. So in January of this year, I said, Anick, you're bringing your A game back because I want 11 frontline directors. That's my goal, 11 frontline directors. There you go. I kind of want more than that, but that's my next goal, like 11 frontline directors. I heard if you get 11 frontline directors, you can make $20,000 a month, right? That's $20,000 a month. Who wants to make $20,000 a month? Guys, like, money is important in life, okay? And some people view money in a negative way. When you think of money, think of that feeling. If it's negative, you're not going to attract it in your life. If it's positive money, I want to open up a healing center for runaway teenagers in the bush, okay? That's my goal. How can I do that without any money? I want to travel the world with my family. How can I do that without any money? Money is essential. It's an essential part of this, okay? So I love my community, but I love making money. So I have a money dance. It's like this. Money, 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 money. So I recommend all of you guys to start a money dance. And just love money, like love it. It's not in a negative way, just that all the things that it does, you know, it pays your mortgage, it puts food in your fridge, it does a lot of positive things. So you need to realize that when I came here, this is why I joined Scentsy, is because I joined, it was August, I didn't want to sell Scentsy, I had no interest, I joined like 7 other direct sales, it never worked, nothing worked, and I wrote in my diary that I'm never joining another direct sales company ever again. And someone came with her starter kit. It was August, and she's like, Anick, you get all of this for $119 Canada. And I was like, whoa, that's a really good deal. She's like, right? Like, I'm like, but I just want a lampshade and 3 bars, so that's like $80. She's like, you spend another $40, Anick, you get all of this. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it. So I went on Instagram, and I'm like, whoa, look at everything you get for $120. Don't sell this stuff, just buy the kit. Do not sell this stuff, just buy the kit. What happened? 5 people bought the kit. And then Scentsy sells itself, so 5 people started recruiting. And I didn't even know this was happening because I knew nothing about Scentsy. And then my upline started like calling me 5 levels up. So I know a lot of people are all about frontline, but I was 5 levels down. And if I wouldn't have got that phone call, I would not be a Scentsy consultant today. So 5 levels up, I get a phone call. Hey, Anick, from Jocelyn Hillman right there. Hey, Nick, I have some time. I really don't have time for this. I have a full-time job. I'm teaching this. I do this. Da, 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 da. I don't want to sell candles. Like, oh my gosh, I don't want to sell candles. And then she's like, Nick, like, at the time, she's like, I make $5,000. Sorry, Joss, but I make $5,000 a month. It's only been three years. I'm like, $5,000 a month, and it's only been 3 years. She's like, yeah. I'm like, wow. And she's like, Nick, it's way more than wax and warmers. Way more than wax and warmers. You really need to like check this stuff out. I'm like, okay. So then she gave me like the vision. She gave me the vision. So we are vision givers. We need to tell people what's the possibilities. What is the possibilities? Because some people do need money to survive. Some people do want to make extra money. So she told me the potential, and she's like, Anick, and you'll meet other people. And then I met other people that are making $60,000 a month, you know, but they're working their ass off. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that word, but their butt off. So then I was like, oh, that's the potential? Okay, so if you did it, I can do it. What's the difference between me and you? Nothing. I've probably heard more no's than you. I've probably put myself outside my comfort zone more than you. I was probably more real than you. You know, I'm not saying this like, I'm not saying I'll talk about money to like, I just want you to realize the potential is there. And it's there for everyone. And people are joining today and becoming, 6 months ago, and became directors. So why aren't you becoming a director? What did they do differently? Because of passion? They rode that passion, that momentum. Once you lose that momentum, guys, that's crucial. You cannot lose that momentum. You need to realize that this business is totally legit. It is totally real. And people are becoming directors, star directors, superstar directors every month. And you can do that. But you need to start acting like a successful person. You need to realize that you are a successful person, that you are a sales machine. You are a recruiting rock star. I want you guys to, then when you start realizing that, you're going to start acting like that. So what's the day in Anick? I try to wake up at 5 a.m. every morning. I try. And I have a 5 a.m. journey club on Facebook. Yeah, so find it. We're going to get back into the 5 a.m. once we come back. We go back home. But that's when they have proof. If you wake up that early and you start working on yourself, like you stretch, you meditate, you do yoga, whatever feeds your bucket, and then you can get to work, and then the kiddos wake up. You need to find the time. When do you have the time to find your business? If you're like, I have no time, you're never going to be successful. I'm really sorry to tell you that.
Oh, no.
If you have no time to invest in your business, how are you going to be successful? You need to find time. How come some people find the time? They wake up earlier, they do it later, they do it on their lunch, they do it on their break, they find the way. Kind of like water. If water wants to come through, it's coming through regardless. You need to act like that. Do you guys have any questions for me? Any questions? Because I could keep talking. Okay. Okay. In January, you saw me World Tour in Toronto?
I love my recruit.
Yeah.
And so I saw her in January in Toronto. You made me believe that I'm a recruiting rock star and a sales machine. I was a star consultant at that time, and 3 days ago I hit direct.
Yeah! Wow. Guys, your mind is powerful. Is that a question? No, she's lifting her. Any questions? Any other questions? No? Just gonna keep yapping around?
Tell us your story.
So,